My wife posted, "Finally free," with her coworker while I was having emergency surgery. I commented, "Congratulations." Then her boss saw my comment exposing their affair using company resources. Both their termination letters arrived while she was still celebrating her freedom. I, 38 male, was wheeled into emergency surgery at 11:23 p.m. on a Thursday. Appendix decided to go nuclear. My wife Tara, 35, was supposed to be there, but she had a critical deadline at her accounting firm. Said she'd come right after submitting the quarterly report. The surgery took longer than expected, complications with internal bleeding. Woke up around 3 a.m. groggy as hell, reaching for my phone. First thing I see, Instagram notification. Tara tagged me in something. The post, her and Derek, her 31M work husband, clinking champagne glasses at some rooftop bar. Caption, "Finally free, no more chains, no more deadweight. Living my best life with someone who actually gets me. At Derek, accounting king, freedom, new beginnings, bye-bye boring." Tagged me. While I was literally being cut open, there were 89 likes already, comments from her coworkers congratulating her on finally doing it, and "Yes, queen, upgrade season." I stared at it for maybe 2 minutes. The heart monitor started beeping faster. Nurse rushed in, asked if I was okay. Yeah, just processing that my marriage ended via Instagram while my appendix tried to kill me. Typed one word in the comments, "Congratulations." Then I noticed something interesting. The photo metadata showed it was taken at 9:47 p.m. The critical deadline she mentioned, their Q3 reports were due at 10 p.m. They were drinking on a rooftop while supposedly crunching numbers. Even better, Derek's shirt had their company logo. The rooftop looked familiar. That was their office building's executive terrace, the one reserved for client entertainment only. Screenshot everything. Then I did something petty but satisfying. See, Tara's boss, Mr. Fitzgerald, is old school. LinkedIn only, thinks Instagram is for kids and clowns. But his wife Dottie? She follows everyone from their company. She'd commented heart emojis on Tara's previous posts. I tagged Dottie. "Beautiful view from your husband's building." Didn't know the Q3 deadline included champagne service on the executive terrace. Then I went back to sleep. Morphine's wonderful like that. Update 1. Woke up at 7 a.m. to my phone vibrating nonstop. 47 texts from Tara. Yeah, exactly 47, I counted. "What did you do? Delete that comment now. This isn't funny." Mr. Fitzgerald called Derek at 6 a.m. "We're both suspended pending investigation. You ruined everything. I was drunk. Didn't mean it. Please call me back. I'm coming to the hospital." The last one made me act fast. Called the nurses' station, explained my wife and I were having issues and I didn't want visitors. They put a restriction on my room. Then I called my brother Ray, 41, lawyer, doesn't mess around. "You sound rough," he said. "Appendix surgery." Also, Tara announced our divorce on Instagram while I was under. "What?" Sent him the screenshots. Long pause. "Holy shh. Okay. Don't delete anything. Screenshot everything. I'll be there in an hour." While waiting, I did some investigating. Tara's Instagram story from earlier that day showed her and Derek working late with a selfie in the conference room. Except the conference room clock showed 7:32 p.m. The expensive whiskey bottle on the table? That's from the executive liquor cabinet. I know because Tara complained about never being senior enough to access it. More interesting, Derek's LinkedIn shows he's engaged to someone named Bethany. Quick Facebook search. Bethany's status still says engaged. Last post was about planning their spring wedding. I might have sent Bethany a friend request with a message, "Hi, you don't know me, but thought you should see what your fiancé posted last night." Attached the screenshots. Ray arrived as I was finishing that. He took one look at me and laughed. "You look way too pleased for someone who just had surgery." I'm on excellent pain meds and my cheating wife just destroyed her own career. It's a complicated morning. He reviewed everything, then made some calls. By noon, he'd filed the separation paperwork and frozen our joint assets, which wasn't much, just our emergency fund that she'd have definitely drained. But the best part came at 2 p.m. Mr. Fitzgerald himself called me. "Mr. Thompson? This is Robert Fitzgerald from Pinnacle Accounting. I apologize for calling during your recovery, but I needed to personally address this situation." "No worries. How can I help?" "First, I want to apologize. The behavior displayed by our employees was beyond unprofessional. using company property for personal celebrations during billable hours, accessing restricted areas, and consuming client entertainment resources without authorization. That does sound serious. Indeed. Both employees have been terminated effective immediately. We'll be pursuing recovery of misused resources. I also wanted to assure you that any company devices will be reviewed and returned to you if they contain personal information. I appreciate that. Between us, his voice dropped. My wife Dottie is mortified she was supporting that home-wrecking behavior. Her words. She's been showing the post to everyone at her book club as an example of what's wrong with young people today. After he hung up, I checked Instagram. Tara's post was gone, but the internet is forever. Someone had already screenshot it and it was spreading through their company gossip network. Text from an unknown number. This is Bethany. Thank you. The wedding is off. Also, Derek's stuff is in garbage bags on the lawn if Tara needs a roommate. I laughed so hard the nurse came to check on me. Update 2. Day 3 post-surgery. Still in the hospital, complications from the internal bleeding meant longer monitoring. The entitlement exhibition began. Tara's mother, Darlene, showed up at 8 a.m. Somehow got past the visitor restriction by claiming to be my mother. Security was now involved. How dare you? She actually finger-wagged at me while I was still hooked to IVs. My daughter made one mistake and you destroyed her entire life. Darlene, she announced our divorce on Instagram while I was in surgery. She was emotional. You've been neglecting her, working all those long hours. I work standard 9 to 5. She met my weekend volunteer work at the animal shelter. She was drinking with Derek instead of working. That's why she got fired. That's your fault. If you'd been a better husband, she wouldn't have needed Derek's support. Support? Is that what we're calling it? She actually tried to grab my phone. You're going to call Mr. Fitzgerald right now and tell him it was all a misunderstanding. Security arrived. As they escorted her out, she screamed, "You'll be hearing from our lawyer." They did not have a lawyer. 2 hours later, Tara herself showed up with Derek. They brought him to my hospital room. Derek looked like he'd been crying. Tara looked furious. "You need to fix this," she announced. "Fix what?" "Tell Mr. Fitzgerald we weren't doing anything wrong. It was after hours. It was 9:47 p.m. Your deadline was 10 p.m. Derek finally spoke. "Dude, come on. We're talking about our careers here." Careers you destroyed by drinking company booze on company property during billable hours while announcing an affair on social media. "It wasn't an affair," Tara protested. "We were just celebrating our connection. While married and engaged to other people?" Bethany overreacted, Derek whined. "She threw my PlayStation out the window." "Just the PlayStation?" "And my gaming PC, and my signed basketball collection." I couldn't help it. I laughed. Tara's face went red. "This isn't funny. We have no income. The apartment requires proof of employment. We could be homeless." "We?" "Derek and I are moving in together." "Wow, that was fast." "Where else can we go? You've turned everyone against us." I posted one word, "Congratulations." "You know what you did." She actually stamped her foot. "Now you're gonna fix it, or I'll make your life hell in the divorce." Ray chose that moment to walk in with coffee. "Oh good, you're here. Saves me the trouble of serving you." Handed her the divorce papers. "And Mr. Fitzgerald asked me to give you this." Handed Derek an envelope. Inside, a bill for $2,847 for misappropriated company resources, including alcohol, unauthorized facility usage, and damages to company reputation. They both left screaming about suing everyone. Update 3, Week 2 home from the hospital. The entitlement reached astronomical levels. First, Tara tried to claim I was financially abusing her by not paying her bills. Posted a sob story on Facebook about being abandoned by a narcissistic ex who waited until she was vulnerable to strike. Her version: she was working late, had one glass of champagne to celebrate finishing a huge project, made an emotional post because she was exhausted, and vindictive me used it to destroy her life. Problem? Derek's fiancée Bethany had entered the chat with receipts. Bethany commented, "One glass? Here's Derek's credit card statement showing $400 at that rooftop bar that night. Here's also the 73 text messages between you two over the past 3 months talking about your connection and how your spouses don't understand you." The post got deleted real quick. Then came the rental applications. Tara and Derek couldn't get approved anywhere. No jobs, no references, and when landlords Googled them, first result was a local blog post titled, "Accounting Firm Employees Fired for Instagram Scandal," with the screenshot. So Tara tried something bold. She applied for apartments using My Employment Info. Got a call from a property manager. "Mr. Thompson, just verifying your application for the unit on Riverside. I didn't apply for anything. I own my house." "Oh, well, someone named Tara Thompson applied saying you were her husband and would be co-signing. We're getting divorced. Please flag that as fraud." This happened 3 more times. She also tried to 1. Get a car loan in my name. Failed. I'd already alerted credit bureaus. 2. Return to the house while I was at a follow-up appointment. Failed. Changed locks. Neighbor called cops. 3. Claim unemployment saying I was the reason she was fired. Failed. Company provided documentation. 4. Start a GoFundMe claiming she was abused and left with nothing. Failed. Bethany posted the receipts in the comments. But the peak entitlement came when she called my job. My boss pulled me aside. "Just got an interesting call. Your soon-to-be ex-wife wants me to hire her because you owe her since your employee ruined her life. She wanted you to hire her to work with me?" Better. She wanted your position, said you could be her assistant since he's used to serving me anyway. My boss actually laughed. I told her we don't have any openings in the delusional department. Meanwhile, Derek was having his own crisis. Turns out Bethany wasn't just throwing his stuff out. She was a paralegal, her dad was a lawyer, and they were going after him for the $30,000 he'd spent on the wedding venues they'd already booked. He called me crying. Actually crying. "Bro, can you tell Bethany I'm not that bad? Maybe we were just friends?" You literally posted about living your best life with your soulmate while your fiancé was wedding planning. It was the alcohol talking. For 3 months of texts. He hung up. Final update. It's been 3 months since the surgery. Divorce is final. Time for the complete update. The fraud attempts. Tara got desperate, really desperate. Started a consulting business, claiming she had 15 years of accounting experience. She had 5. Listed fake clients, including companies she'd audited at Pinnacle. Mr. Fitzgerald found out when a client called asking why their former auditor was claiming to be their current consultant. He sent cease and desist letters. Then contacted the State Board of Accountancy about her misrepresenting her credentials. She's now banned from practicing accounting in our state for 3 years. The housing crisis. Unable to get approved anywhere, Tara and Derek moved in with Derek's parents. That lasted exactly 4 days. His mom found them day drinking in the basement while job hunting and kicked them out. They're now in Tara's childhood bedroom at Darlene's house. Darlene charges them rent. The job hunt. Derek got a job at a tax prep chain. Seasonal work, minimum wage plus commission. He messages me monthly begging for references. Tara works part-time at a makeup store, posted about being too good for corporate culture anyway and following her passion. Her passion apparently involves being written up twice for being late and once for drinking on lunch break. The legal aftermath. Divorce was straightforward. No kids, clean asset split. She tried to claim alimony, but Ray shut that down quick. Adultery proven via her own social media, plus she was capable of working. She had to pay me $1,400 for the fraudulent apartment applications and attempted identity theft. Pinnacle Accounting pursued the $2,847. Derek's wages are being garnished. Bethany successfully sued Derek for the wedding deposits. His tax prep checks mostly go to her. The social consequences. Their former coworker crowd dropped them completely. Turns out nobody wants to associate with people who got fired for stealing company booze and publicly destroying marriages. Tara's been through 3 friend groups. Each one figures out she's the common denominator in all her drama. Derek tried to get back with Bethany. She's now engaged to someone else and posted their engagement photos at the same rooftop bar. Petty? Yes. Deserved? Also yes. The plot twist. Last week, got a LinkedIn message from a recruiter. Pinnacle Accounting is expanding their audit division. Mr. Fitzgerald personally recommended me for a senior position, citing my professional handling of a personal crisis and demonstration of integrity under pressure. The salary? Double what Tara was making. I start next month. The final pettiness. I donated $500 to the animal shelter in Tara's name. They sent her a thank you card with a photo of the dogs I help walk on weekends. You know, during all that neglecting I was doing. She texted me, "Really, this is so childish." I replied, "Congratulations on supporting a good cause." Then blocked her number. The real final update: ran into Darlene at the grocery store yesterday. She tried to guilt trip me again. Tara cries every night. Derek's useless. They're miserable. Sounds like they're finally free then. Isn't that what they wanted? She started to argue, but I just walked away. Bought myself a nice bottle of champagne, the expensive kind, from the top shelf. Sent a photo to Ray with the caption, "Celebrating my freedom, the right way, alone, with nobody else's spouse." He replied, "Proud of you, bro." Am I happy? Getting there. Therapy helps. The promotion helps more. Do I regret commenting on that post? Nah. One word changed everything. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate. It's just letting people face the consequences of their own choices. To everyone asking if this was worth it, she announced our divorce while I was being cut open. She tried to steal my identity. She attempted to get me fired. All I did was say, "Congratulations." Everything else? That was all them.